Good morning. Wow, 11 a.m. I have barely spoken today, so my voice I feel sounds kind of like, raspy, and it gives that I just woke up. So, well, I didn't just wake up, but I've been bumming around. So, anyway, it'll take a minute for my voice to kind of get normal. However, happy Sunday. Hope you're doing well. We are here to talk about Amazon FBA and private label, making money online. If you have any questions at any point, feel free to go ahead and let me know in the comments, and I'll try my best to answer as many questions as I can. So, first things first, what are we talking about? We're talking about Amazon FBA, which stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. This is a business model where the products that you're selling on Amazon's platform are also stored and delivered by Amazon. So not only do you sell your products on Amazon's website, but they will also be the ones to deliver them to the customers on your behalf, which I personally love so much because it definitely frees up a lot of your time when Amazon is doing the deliveries for you. The other part of what I do is called private label. And private label is when you purchase products in bulk from a supplier and have your logo put onto those products. So basically you would be making your own branded items, which everyone thinks that making your own items and having your own brand is like super complicated. It's really hard to do that. It's just not true at all. It's actually very, very, very easy to make your own brand. All it requires is that you have a logo, and having a logo made is the easiest thing in the world. You can like DIY it on Canva. You can use AI, you can hire someone to design a custom one for you. So having your logo made and having it stuck on your products is like the easiest part of this whole entire thing. So if you're nervous about that, just don't even worry about it. It's easy, okay? That I can say with my chest. That part is extremely easy. Now, what is really important is that when you're doing or starting your Amazon business, that you are thinking very strategically about the product that you choose, because the product that you choose is going to be what determines whether you make 20K in your first month or if you make $2 in your first month, right? It's all about the product and making sure that it's something that people actually want to purchase, something that is high in demand, and something that will actually make you a profit. So we'll talk more about that as we go through. Just wanted to kind of give you a little introduction, let you know what we're talking about, let you know what the business itself actually is, and then we'll get more into the details. If you have questions, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Good afternoon, Tia. Before we continue, I love your hair. Thank you so much. Just subscribe to your YouTube. Nice. I've got a lot of videos on my channel. For those of you who don't know, my YouTube channel is Learn with Abby. Learn with Abby. Can I do this if I live outside the US? Yes, you can. You can sell on Amazon from 95% of places. Realistically, you can sell on Amazon from anywhere, but they do have a list of countries that are accepted for seller registration, and there's over 188 of them. So the odds are that your country is on that list. And the off chance that your country is not on that list, you can also create an LLC and then run your business through your LLC. But yeah, the odds are that your country's on the list. So yeah, that's that. When you're selling your products on Amazon, what I recommend and what I encourage everyone is, regardless of where you live physically, if you're in America, if you're in Asia, if you're in Africa, no matter where you physically live, you should be selling your products to US customers, because Amazon has multiple marketplaces. They have Amazon just the standard Amazon that everyone uses. I don't want to say it because TikTok will, excuse me, goodness, TikTok will restrict the live, but they have just standard Amazon period .com, you guys know. And then that one reflects the American marketplace, the US marketplace. But then they also have Amazon Canada, Amazon Mexico, Amazon Australia, Amazon UK, Amazon, they have it for many other marketplaces. However, the biggest marketplace is the American marketplace. So if you want to make the most amount of money possible, you need to sell to US customers. So that is what I recommend, regardless of where you live, you're going to be selling on the US marketplace. Okay. We can do this from home. You can do it from anywhere, including home. Yes. When I first started, I was working at a corporate job, and I didn't really know whether or not this was going to pan out for me. My lip gloss is like transferring. And I started selling on Amazon. And at that time, I wasn't very well traveled. Just for context, I wasn't born in this country. I was born in South Africa, and my family's from Ghana, so we're African. I never was able to travel much. And so, yeah, I was working on my business from home. And at that time, I lived in Atlanta, and I ended up moving to the Bay Area in California once my business took off. So that is one thing I can definitely say, is that this business does not limit you to one specific location. As time has gone on and as I've made more and more money, I have traveled the entire world while selling my products on Amazon. When I say I've traveled the world, I mean like really far locations: Japan, Dubai, Morocco, Peru, Bora Bora, south of France. Like, I've gone to all of these places and I've still been able to make money with my Amazon business regardless. And that's what pays for it all. You know what I mean? So I know your question is, can you do this from home? The answer is yes, but the real answer is you can do it from anywhere. It doesn't, you're not tied to any specific location when you're doing this. That's one of my favorite parts about it. Okay, let's see. You're from Oklahoma. Nice. Okay. I'm manifesting I can get this going soon. Absolutely. About how much should I budget to start, excluding the product? Excluding the product. Well, the product is the bulk of the money that you would need to do this business. So the inventory cost itself would be like the biggest chunk. Outside of that, it would be your marketing budget. So, $10 a day for 30 days, $300 or so for that. It depends on your product. It depends on what you want to do, but that's a good place to start. And then you would also need to have a logo made. You can do that for free. You could literally use Canva to make your own logo for free. You can use AI to make your logo for free. You could pay someone $5 to design a logo for you. I mean, that's super cheap, okay? Then you would need product photography. Now, you can DIY your product photography if you're on a tighter budget. What I would do, and what I have done with the majority of my products, is I will ask my supplier to take the photos for me. Normally, they will do it for a really low cost, and they already have the products in their possession. So that is the easiest way to get your product photography, without having to pay like, a professional photographer, which that will run you probably a couple $100s. So rather than doing that, you can just ask your supplier to take them and break them off $20 or $25. You know what I mean? Like, it's much cheaper that way. Okay, I'm a stay-at-home mama of two, and I badly need to make money to help out at home. How do I start? Okay, well, first of all, I love when moms want to learn about this business, because I literally feel like it's the perfect business for a mom. I'm a mom too. I have one. But staying at home with two kids is a lot. Okay, I have my son every other week, and by the end of the week, I'm ready to take him back to his father. Okay, I'd be over it. Because it takes a lot of energy, especially when you're, trying to be a present parent. It really does. It takes a lot. So the fact that you're also trying to contribute financially, I feel like says a lot about you and how much you care about your family. How you would start is to apply for your Amazon seller account, because you're going to need that in order to run your business through it. And signing up for the account is pretty simplistic. They just ask you for your name, your address. They ask you for a business name. They're going to ask you for documents to verify your address and verify your identity. So for your documents, they're going to just want something like a driver's license, because I know you live in Oklahoma, so you're in the US. You can do a driver's license, you can do a passport if you have that. For your address, you can do a utility bill or a bank account statement. So no matter what, and this is like a little tip for you guys to make sure you get approved more easily, no matter what your document is, make sure that you scan in the document rather than taking a photo. If somebody asks you, or when Amazon asks you for your ID, your instinct is going to be to just take a picture of it using your phone. You're much better off scanning in the ID. Now, scanning it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a printer or anything like that. Just use your phone. If you have an iPhone, you can scan in your documents through your Notes app. Here, let me show you real quick. If you go to your notes and you click on the attach button, oops, that little paper clip is attachments. All you have to do is click on scan documents right there. Obviously it's me, but like, for example, if I wanted to scan my son's book, I could scan it instead of taking a photo. So let me just show you the difference. This looks more legit to Amazon than if I were to just take a picture of it. A picture can be faked, right? If that's you trying to impersonate someone else, you could theoretically, you know, alter it or whatever, but a scan, you can't alter it because that's taking a genuine replica of whatever the document is. So if it's going to be a utility bill, for example, if you have a physical copy, scan it in. If you only have all of your stuff online, if you're like paperless or whatever, that's cool. Don't take a screenshot, download the document as a PDF and then submit that. Okay, these are just, I have been selling on Amazon for a long time. I know that they use computers for everything. Okay, so the odds of a real person looking at your documents are slim. They are using their software to verify your documents. So a software, the easiest way for it to read it is through, you know, making sure that the documents are genuine. Okay. All right. Do you, hold on, suggest using Amazon's packaging or design your own with your logo? Amazon doesn't package your items. Amazon ships your items. So they're not going to be the ones who are going to actually put it in the packaging that the customer is going to receive. So what I mean by that is this was the first product I ever sold on Amazon. It was a nail file and a nail buffer. Okay, so I already had it inside of a bag so that this is what Amazon would package and send to the customer. I cannot send Amazon my components and expect for them to package my components. Amazon doesn't do that. So I can't say, here are the 3 pieces of my product. Can you put them all together in some nice packaging and send it to the customer? Amazon, no, they're not really a prep center so much as they are a shipping center. They want to be able to receive your product the way that the customer is going to get it. So all of your components are going to be put together in a bag or in a box, and then Amazon will ship it out in their own bag or box. But it's not Amazon's job to put your logo and your branding on there. They're not going to do that. What you should do is have your supplier do that. You get in contact with your supplier, you say, hey, I'd like to have, 300 units of this product put together, and here's my logo, here is my barcode. This is a logo, for the record. It's covered because I want to keep that private, but here would have been the barcode. So I send this to the supplier, they put everything on there, and then they ship it to Amazon like this. When somebody purchases this product, Amazon will then go find a box or a bag to put it in, and then they'll ship it to the customer. Does that make sense? So you want this to be sent to Amazon in the way that the customer is going to receive it, and then Amazon will just put protective packaging around it to send it to the customer. Make sense? Okay, how do I go about finding a product that isn't high risk? So what you're going to need to do is have a software. Software is going to be your best friend. Software is what's going to allow you to see everything that's going on behind the scenes. It'll show you how much money each of the products are making on Amazon. It'll show you how many units they're selling. And I actually have my laptop right here for the purposes of us looking at products. We'll do that. Actually, you know what, for funsies, let's look for a product right now, okay? Because I just want you guys to be able to understand how much information you can really see about any product you want on Amazon. It's not a secret. Like, as long as you know how to look for it, you can see how much money anybody is making, which is actually really, really cool. Or at least it was really cool for me in the beginning, and it's still cool for me now even. So I'm gonna pull up Amazon right now, and I'm gonna show you guys something real quick, okay? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna flip my camera because that's how dedicated I am to you guys seeing this clearly. Walk with me. Okay, so what you guys are about to see is Helium 10. Okay, Helium 10 is a software for Amazon product research. And let me just move a couple things around so that you guys can understand. Don't judge my tabs, okay? We got hella tabs open. Okay, so when you guys are shopping on Amazon, you don't see all of this stuff. When you're shopping, all you see is these listings by themselves. You're not seeing, the ranking. You're not seeing the country that the products are coming from because you're a customer. You don't care about that. When you're a seller, you care about all of this, okay? Because this lets you know which products are doing well and which products are not. We looked at this product yesterday in the live. It is a candle warmer. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a product that is doing really, really great numbers. For example, as we're going into back to school season, we are probably going to see the numbers for things like backpacks go crazy, right? So backpack, that's what I'm going to type in. And now, as I see all of the different backpacks, I can see how much money they're selling for. I can see all of the different brands. JanSport is a big brand. That's not a private labeled brand. But there are some private labeled ones here. We see North Face, more JanSport. This one right here is a private label. That's not a big brand, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the software Helium 10. I've already told you guys about it. I have it linked in my bio if you want to try it out. Once you get Helium 10, you'll see everything that I'm seeing right now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the Google Chrome extension tool, and I'm going to use this tool right here called X-Ray. See, it says X-Ray Amazon Product Research. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And it's going to generate a bunch of information for me. And this is absolutely predictable for me because I've been doing this for a long time. So I know what I'm about to see. What we're going to see is that the amount of searches for backpacks is diabolical. When I say diabolical, this is how many people are searching for backpacks in 30 days. Now, just for reference, and once we look up other products, you guys are going to see that this number is extremely, and when I say extremely, I mean extremely high. A search volume in the millions means that this product is so high in demand, and it makes perfect sense, right? Because it's back to school season. So people are looking for this at a higher rate than normal. What you're going to see is that this product is seasonal because, again, it's related to back to school season. And you know how we're going to be able to confirm that? We're going to click on this graph right here, search volume, and it's going to show us the searches over time. Okay. And this is my hypothesis, is that it's going to be, okay, walk with me. This is what I think that we're going to see once we click on it. Let's see if I'm right. I think what we're going to see is that the searches for backpacks are going to be pretty steady. And I think right when we get to about July, it's going to start to uptick. I think when we get to August, it's going to go really high. When it gets to September, it's going to go really high. And then it's going to start to decrease over time. Okay, so let's see if I'm right. That's my hypothesis. Again, we're looking at search volume. How many people are looking for this product over the course of 30 days? So I'm going to click on this graph and let's see what we see. It's going to default to 30 days here. Let me bring it just a little bit closer. It's defaulting to 30 days. We can also click 90 days. We can click 1 year. We can click 3 years. We can click 5 years. I'm going to go all the way to 5 years so we can see if my hypothesis about it being seasonal is true. Okay, 5 years. All right. I love when I'm right. Okay, let's double check here though. We can see that if we look at the 5-year timeline in August, it was at its peak. Okay. What I said is I think that when we get to July, it's going to start to creep up, right? I love when I'm right. I love when I'm right. July, it's starting to creep up. And what did I say? I think it's going to peak right around August, September for back to school season, right? This was 2022. And you know why there's a big spike here? Because this was right after COVID. So people are going from, not working from home, taking classes online or whatever, and then actually going back to school for the first time in a year or two. So that's why we see such a big spike here. Okay, what did I say? We're going to end up going down. September is where? Like right here. October, things go back down. And then where does it start to spike again? July, August, starts to go back down. It's literally it makes perfect sense, right? Because we know that this is back to school season. This is a back to school product. So I wanted to show you that so you guys can understand what I mean when I say we don't want to sell seasonal products, because this is where you're going to make all of your money is on these spikes right here. And you don't want a product that you're only going to make money during the spikes. You want a product that you're going to make money the entire year. So rather than seeing it go up, down, up, down, up, down, what we would rather see is that it's steady over time. We would rather see this line be more flat and going up. So flat but going up over time would be ideal. This, we don't want this, okay? Anyway, it's for demonstration purposes. Again, search volume is really high. What we can see here is the total revenue for this product, and this is reflective of all of the products on the first page. Total revenue here is $3.5 million. This is how much all of the sellers on the first page are making. Average revenue, how much each individual seller is making on average, $127,000. And again, guys, this is over a 30-day period. So on average, backpack sellers on Amazon are doing almost $130K per month. Average price, $64. Average BSR stands for best sellers rank. That means how quickly the product is selling. We see that the BSR is at almost 29,000. Average reviews is astronomical. This, hell nah, absolutely not. This is way too competitive. So even though the search volume is really high, that means that there's really high demand. Also, the average reviews are really high, which means that it's just going to be too competitive. At the end of the day, though, what we can do is order the results from highest to lowest. So if I click on parent revenue, we can see that the highest seller is JanSport, and that makes sense because they're a big brand. They're doing $1.4 million a month on Amazon. But I don't want to look at them because they're a legitimate brand, like Under Armour, North Face. Those are not private labels. So I don't want to look at those. What I want to look at is the actual private label brand. So this one is Zorfin, $410,000. I know it's little, you guys. I'm sorry. This software is called Helium 10. I have it linked in my bio with a discount if you want to be able to see everything that I'm seeing. But right here, $410,000 for this private labeled brand. Let's skip over Under Armour. Let's skip over North Face. Take Gear, I don't know if this is a brand found in stores or if it's private label. So let's skip that one. Witzman, I'm pretty sure is just a private label. And then you can scroll down and you can see all of the other ones. This seller only has 30 reviews and they're doing $11,000 a month. That's pretty good. What is the max average reviews we should look for? 300 max. 300 max. Let me see what you guys are saying here real quick in the comments. Where was I? Oh my goodness, I didn't realize that there were so many questions as I was yapping away. Okay, let me answer a couple of quick questions here. Do you suggest using Amazon's packaging or okay, so that's the last one I answered. How do I go about finding a product that isn't, oh wait, no, I answered that one too. Hi Queen, loved watching your videos. Do you offer one-on-ones at all other than the group message? Hi, I don't offer one-on-ones, unfortunately. I only offer mentorship through my step-by-step program, which you can find linked in my bio. Let's see. What website do you use to find trending items? So it's this one right here, Steph. Helium 10 is what we're looking at. And this is what I use for my product research. I have found my $40,000 a month products using this software, my $50,000 a month products using this software. What type of packaging do you recommend? It's dependent on the product. For example, when I sold this product, my very first Amazon product, I opted for, and I know it's grimy, please don't judge me. It's like almost 8 years old, but I decided to use this plastic packaging instead of using a box because it was cheaper and I didn't feel like I needed a box. So I opted for this. I could have put it in a box. I could have put it in a less protective plastic box. The reason I went for this kind of like thicker plastic is because I wanted the product to stay safe. I didn't want it to get like, dense inside of it or whatever. So this was my choice as far as, not being too expensive and also not being too bulky, because you can see how it bends more than what a box would bend. So therefore, I was able to get better shipping rates because it wasn't so rigid. You could fit more of these in a carton than you can if they're in a box. Does that make sense? What's a good amount for a beginner to invest? It just depends on the product that you choose to sell. Some products are going to be super cheap. For example, if you were selling a backpack, sourcing a backpack is it's not going to be the cheapest product. It's definitely not. So for example, let's say that I was looking at backpack. What I could do is click on this button here, find suppliers on Alibaba. And what it's going to do is give me some backpack suppliers directly pulled from Alibaba itself. And as you can see here, these ones you can, let me zoom a little. You can source for, actually, this is extremely cheap. $188 to $2.45 per piece, depending on how many you get. The lead time or the manufacturing time is only 31 days. And you can put your own logo right here. You have this supplier that's selling it for $2.34 to $2.77. This one's more expensive, $5.40 to $5.80, $1.99 to $2.85. Wow, this is, I don't know why I'm like a little surprised by just how cheap it is. Look at this really simple backpack, 98 cents. You could literally buy this backpack for $1 and sell it for like at least $25 on Amazon. I wouldn't go with the more expensive one because that's going to make your pricing and your sourcing costs too high. But yeah, the one that's like $2 a pop, heck yeah. Okay, let me close this out. And what I'm gonna do is zoom back out a little bit here. Okay. So that's that. You see all of this data that you're able to look at before you ever choose a product. Because if you don't look at the data, how are you ever going to know whether or not this product actually makes money? How are you going to know if it's actually in demand if you don't look at it using a software? At least now I can see that these backpacks are making $3.5 million. I can see that the average seller is making $128,000. I can see what the average price is. I can see what the average BSR is. For the record, you guys, people literally charge for what I'm showing you right now. So yeah, okay. I'm not here to give you fluff. I'm literally telling you, basically, this is what I teach in my program. Of course, I teach it a bit more thoroughly over there, but just giving you a little bit of an idea of what you would be looking at. Okay, hold on. Let me try to answer a couple more questions. Do you use Helium-10? I've tried, but I think I just don't understand the platform. Yes, I use Helium-10, and that's what we're looking at right now. Her Digital Empire, thank you for that gift. You don't have to send me any gifts in here, you guys. I'm just here to teach and answer some questions. Is there a fee to sell on Amazon? Yes, there's an Amazon seller account fee of $39.99 a month. All right, let's see. What is the max average reviews? Okay, I already answered that. What's the fee that Amazon charges you? $39.99 a month for your Amazon seller account. And then if you were doing FBA or fulfillment by Amazon, where they do your deliveries, they're going to charge you 3 fees. It is a storage fee for them to keep your inventory in their fulfillment center. They're going to charge you a referral fee, which is normally 15%, and then they're going to charge you a pick and pack fee. I can actually show you that. That's a good question. So for example, here with this listing, let's do the Zorfin one because it's actually a private label rather than a big brand like JanSport. Actually, let me go back here. I'm going to click on the listing. And what I'm going to do is go to this tool. And again, you're not going to see this unless you have the software. I have the Google Chrome extension And that's why all of this stuff populates automatically when I'm looking at products. When you're an Amazon shopper, you don't see all this stuff, you know? So I can see that the 30-day revenue for this backpack is $410,000. The number of units they're selling is 17,776. And so, oh, whoa, I didn't mean to do that. Let me go forward. Okay. And what I can see as well using helium-10, again, I have helium-10 linked in my bio if you guys want to try it out, is a calculator. Now you can see the calculator automatically on the page, or you can use the Google Chrome extension tool and pull up the profitability calculator. Where is it? Yeah, right down here. So I'm going to click on profitability calculator, and this is everything that I'm going to see. So I can see that their selling price is $16.14. I can see the dimensions of the product, the width, the length, the height, the weight. I can see that the manufacturing cost that the software is generating, this is just a guesstimate, right? They don't know for a fact because it depends on whatever the contract is with their supplier. I don't think that it's $3.23. Based off of what we just looked at, there were suppliers who were making it for $1 and they're buying so much of it at once. I know they're getting it for less than this. So I'm going to switch this to like, honestly, I want to put $1. I'll just say $2 to be generous, but I really feel like they're probably getting it for about $1 each. What I can see here is the fees, because this is what you asked me, right? What are the fulfillment costs? So for the FBA fee, which is the shipping fee, they're charging $6.10, okay? This little surcharge here, 21 cents, and this is per unit. The storage fee is dependent on the time of the year. For the majority of the year, January to September, it's only 16 cents per unit. But during the holiday season, Q4, it jumps up to 44 cents a unit, okay? And then the referral fee, $2.42. So with that being said, their profit would be $3 off of each one that they sell roughly, you know, between the quarters. So if they are selling, and let's do a little bit of math here. I'll use my other phone to show you guys. If they are making $3 off of each unit, and they're doing 776 sales per month, this is how much they're profiting based off of these numbers. Now, we don't know. They might be able to get this product for $1 each. And if they were getting it for $1 instead of $2, it would obviously change the numbers. So it would instead make their profits about $4 each. This is a little more math heavy than I intended, but you know. 71,000. This sounds like it makes more sense. But yeah, we can only predict how much money they're profiting because that's going to be dependent on their sourcing, talking to the suppliers, what they're able to negotiate. That will impact this number. What we can know for a fact, though, is how much they're making in revenue. That is a fact because it's pulled directly from Amazon. So yeah, anyway, I say all that to say profitability is very important to be able to understand your numbers, to be able to make sure that you're, you know, actually not only making sales, but then also making a profit off of those sales. Does that make sense? Okay, just join the live. What software is this that you're using? It's called Helium-10 and I have it linked in my bio. Is there a minimum shipment required for Amazon? No, there's no minimum. Amazon does not care. You can send in as much or as little as you want. Let's see. How do we sign up to sell on Amazon? Just Google Amazon seller account. I cannot tell you what it is because TikTok will restrict the live. It's really annoying. You know what? Actually, since you guys are looking at my screen, I can type it in. Ooh. This is the website. I can't say it again because TikTok is really annoying, but I can put it right here. All right, that's the website. So this is what you're going to see when you go to the application website. And then you're going to just click on sign up. In my step-by-step program, I walk you through this. I walk you through this whole thing. I can't do it right now, obviously, because I already have my Amazon account, so I'm not going to sign up for one, but that's how you would do it. Okay, let's see. Did you register your brand to protect your IP? Yeah, I'm brand registered now, but in the beginning I wasn't. I didn't have a trademark right off of the bat, which is not something that you have to have. So yeah, you can definitely go ahead and get a trademark once your business starts to do well, once you're actually making money, that's cool. But right off of the bat, it's definitely not something that you need. Any other Chrome extensions or tools we should get? Nope, Helium 10 is all you need. 16 and preparing to start when I'm 18. What top 2 skills or topics should I master right now studying? Product research, product research, product research, 100%. You still have to have the product shipped from China to the US, so that's a fee too. That's not a fee, it's your shipping cost. That's not a fee that Amazon is charging you. That's your cost to ship. That's part of your sourcing cost. So what does Amazon say they make in sales? They're making like 400K a month. Do you also explain in your mentorship how you choose your products? Yes, in extreme detail. In extreme detail, girl. Absolutely. Maybe I'll show you the breakdown of the modules. Actually, you know what? I can do that right now. Let's do Savvy Seller FBA. This is my program website. If you scroll down, you'll be able to see, and these are just, screenshots from students who have done well with my program, $60,000 in 30 days, $3,200 in 7 days, $4,000 in, what was the time period for this? December 15th. This would have been like 3 weeks. There's more, whatever. You can go look if you want to. This was one of my students had $1 million. But what I actually want to show you is the modules. Okay, so these are the modules in my program. And let me zoom a little bit here so you can see what you're going to actually learn in the mentorship. We've got the kind of welcome module here. Well, there's a welcome module before this, but this is the getting started. So the software and the tools that you're going to need, the startup cost, everything that you need to kind of get yourself set up. Then we talk about branding essentials and legalities, creating your accounts. So your Amazon account, your Alibaba account, how to get in touch with Amazon support if you need it. Then we go into product research. And I think this is really what you were asking me about, selecting the perfect product, Helium 10, we talk about patents, trademarks, we talk about the winning product criteria, which is really important, and we get into keywords. And then there's a second module dedicated to product research as well, where I give you, different product research strategies. I demonstrate it for you, walk you through it. So you guys see the same way that I just pulled up the numbers over here. And I was walking you through the graph. It's not pulled up anymore. That's what I do in the program. It's literally like me in the corner, my little head, and I'm talking you through everything. So it's like this, but better. We talk about budgeting, looking at your profit margin. So what we just did with the profitability calculator, there's entire lessons dedicated to that. The Amazon fees, the cash flow of it all. Alibaba product sourcing. So, what do we look for out of a good supplier? How do we negotiate with them? I give you a template for negotiating with your suppliers to get the cost down, to get the minimum order quantity down, samples, contracts, going over the manufacturing process. And we talk even more about manufacturing, the barcodes, the packaging, the thank you cards, inspections, payments. We talk about shipping, how to get the products from China to the US, the best shipping terms. I give you my freight forwarder that I use, which is a shipping company. Then we go into making your listing. So the product photography, how to style them correctly, the pricing techniques that you can use, more about keywords, and then walking you through building your own listing. Then we talk about product reviews and seller feedback, how to get those initial reviews, reducing negative reviews, and then customer engagement. And then the product launch protocol goes into what you do when your product actually gets there. Like, how do you make sure that your product does well off of the bat? We talk about Amazon advertising or Amazon PPC. Then the final module is just the brand expansion system, how to scale your business, how to grow your business, to get it to the next level. So those are all of the modules that are covered in my step-by-step program. Again, this is the website if you want to go and kind of read up on it and see if it's something that you would want to look into. And then this kind of tells you everything that you get inside of the program. So you get the 10 hours of step-by-step video tutorials. You can see it right here. And then you get the updates as they're made available. I completely updated the entire program last year, or the end of last year. So really it's only been like 6 or 7 months. 6, 7. I'm sorry. I have a 6-year-old boy. Okay, please. But yeah, so it's all completely updated. This isn't like information from 10 years ago. Okay, that's insane. You're going to get all of the templates in the program as well right here. You're going to get the private group coaching where you'll be able to join our private group for Zoom calls. You'll be able to send me your product ideas for review. You'll be able to ask me all of your questions. I'll be there to cheer you on, support you, give you advice and guidance all the way through. So that you'll get as well. There's a student success workbook that's meant to help keep you on track as you're going through all of the steps. And then the product research case studies as well. So you got all of that when you enroll in the program. For the record, and for those of you who are like, is this a monthly fee? Because I actually get that question pretty much in every live at this point, where it's like, well, am I going to be, paying for this every month? No, you're not. Okay. You're not going to be paying for this every single month. So this, and I get this question a lot as well. I normally don't talk about it, the pricing on live, because then everyone wants me to prove why is it priced this way. The price is the price. Okay. You see what you're going to get out of it, and it's whether you want to or not. It's not by force. But I'm just, for some weird reason, we're doing this today because there are different tiers. And I want you to understand that each tier offers something different. This first tier does not include mentorship. So if you just want the video tutorials and to be able to understand how to do everything, you can, but this does not include any support. There's no group coaching. You can't send me your emails to look at your products. That's not included here in Ruby. This is just the course material. In the Sapphire plan, you do get 12 months of access to our private group. So you'll be able to join the Q&As. You'll be able to access the community. You'll be able to, send me your product ideas for feedback. You'll get all of that here for 12 months. And then Diamond is lifetime access. So everything you get here, but you get it for a lifetime instead of for 12 months. Okay. So just so you know what it is, because I get a lot of questions about that. And with that being said, if you are interested in joining the program, I'd be happy to have you. Just make sure you use the discount code LEO30, LEO30 for 30% off. Okay. That's for Leo season. It is what it is. So make sure you apply that at checkout if you'd like to join at the best price. Okay, so with that being said, let's pop back over here. Let's look at another product because we looked at backpacks. Let's look at something else. Let me know what other product you guys want me to look at. And in the meantime, I'm going to pop over here and answer a couple more questions. Okay, so where was I? How much money can I start with? The amount of money that you can start with is going to depend on the product itself that you choose. Like, for example, my first product I sold on Amazon was like $1, super cheap. And you saw that with these backpacks, there were some suppliers who had it for $1. There were some suppliers who had it for $5, $6, $7, right? So that is something that I will say is going to impact the cost of the product itself. Okay, let's keep on going here. Where was I? I'm trying to go in the order that I'm seeing it all. Let's see here. Okay, I think Remy, your question was the last one. What's up, Seller Gens? In your mentorship, do you explain how to sell if you're not from the US? The steps are the same whether or not you're from the US. It's literally going to be the same exact steps. The only difference will be the way that you're like paid out by Amazon, and then also your application process might look different. Like for us here in America, for your documents that you send in, it's going to be like your ID. It's going to be your what else? Your ID, your passport, those would be acceptable. If you're in another country, they might ask you for documents that are more specific to the country that you live in. So I can't say what it will be for you, but as far as the steps to picking your product, to launching your product, it's all going to be the same. I'm from the Caribbean. Can this program work for me? Yes, I've got students in my program that live in the Caribbean. Can you open Seller Gens and check how it's work? What do you mean, check how it's work? This is very organized. Thank you, Remy. I'm one of your savvy seller students. Hey, Esther girl. Let's see. If you already have 1 year subscription of Jungle Scout, do you still need to have Helium 10? So they're both product research softwares. You don't need both, but I personally think that Helium 10 is better. So you can keep your Jungle Scout subscription, but the way that I teach product research and the way that we look at numbers, it's going to be different because Jungle Scout is a different software. You know what I mean? Okay, let's keep on going here. How long ago you mean? I started in 2024, if not mistaken. Yeah, you were there for a while. Okay. That's insane prices. That's fine. It's not for everyone and it's not by force. My program is for a specific person that wants to learn, who understands the value of the mentorship. If you don't, that's totally cool. Okay, hair products. I know I have so many tabs. I have so many tabs. It's ridiculous. I am so glad I purchased the course 2 years ago and I can say it's really good. Thank you, Gian, for saying that. I appreciate it. Let's see. What's the most you have made off of excuse me. What's the most you've made off of one product and what product was that? Well, I still sell it, so I can't say what the product is. The most I have made off of it in a year, in a month, what specific time frame are you talking about? Hi, Cisse. I didn't know you were here. Cisse, let's keep on going. How would you know the best supplier? So there are lots of different things that you would look for out of a good supplier. For example, well, it's like when I start showing it on the computer, then I feel like I get carried away and then we get lost in the sauce of the comments. So I'll just tell you a couple of things. You should be looking for a verified supplier. You should be looking for a supplier that's been in business for at least 2 years or better. Your supplier should have, they should have a high response rate, meaning when you're sending them a message, they're getting back to you in a reasonable amount of time. It should not be taking them 48 hours to respond back to you. 24 hours or better. They should be willing to work with you, compromise with you. They should be collaborative. They shouldn't be pressuring you. They should be accepting of you having an inspection done on your inventory. An inspection is just a way that you're going to verify that the products have been made correctly. So that's one of the things that you're going to want to do. And I will be honest, there are some suppliers who are like, oh dear, we don't allow inspections. If your supplier doesn't allow inspections, that's such a red flag, because what do you mean I can't make sure that the products were made the way that we agreed on? Like, it's a very big red flag. So make sure that they understand that you're going to want to have an inspection done. Make sure that their lead time or their shipping time is 30 days or less. Okay. So those are some things that you would look for out of a supplier. I think product research is going to be my problem. It's not a problem. You think for 3K you would get personalized support for your specific product? Yeah, you would. You would actually. People are so annoying. It's like she's literally telling you what you get, what her experience has been, and here you are in the comments. You really think that you're gonna get that? Yeah, because she's literally getting it. Like, hello? Let's keep on going here. You also have to be patient because everyone's results are different. Of course. Is this OA wholesale or private label? This is private label that we're talking about. Thank you, Cisse, for keeping it a buck. I mean, at this point, it's just annoying. How long does it take from placing an order with Alibaba until it's ready to sell on Amazon? It's just dependent on the product itself and the lead time of the supplier. So for a super simple product like this, a nail buffer, it's not really complicated. There's not that much to it. I mean, it's very, very basic. For a product like this, the lead time, there's no way it should be over 30 days. You might be able to get someone who can make this for you in 2 weeks. Realistically, what takes the most time when it comes to manufacturing is the personalization of it all, because the truth of the matter is these suppliers already have these products made generically. So when you are customizing an aspect of it, that's what's going to make it take longer. Because if they were to just go and make this in the standard colors, the standard material, they could do that probably in a couple of days. But it's when you want to have your logo, which that's what's under this tape. If you want to have your logo on there, if you want to change the colors, because for me, all of my competitors had these really bright colors. They had, like the neons and it was just overstimulating. And my aesthetic and what I like out of products is for them to be neutral. I don't like brightly colored things. It's too much. So I figured, why don't I make a version for people like me who just like things to look a little more clean, a little bit more high end. That's what I was going for. Same thing with this other component of this product that I first launched in 2019. It comes in the white, right? And then it has this on the inside. And I put it inside of a case to make it look fancier and schmancier so I could charge more money for it. There's a bird chirping outside of this window and it's driving me crazy. All right, let's keep on going here. Month and year. So it's hard to say for specific products because the way that the data generates in Amazon, and there are reports that you can pull to look at them per product, but I have 2 different Amazon accounts with 2 different brands. And so all of the numbers are kind of like conglomerated together. But let me just think. So my highest month was last December, and I think it was like maybe like 300, a little over 300K, maybe like 310 or something. I have to go back and look. So right about there. And then my highest selling product probably did about 90K of that, like for one individual product. And that's in sales. That's not in profit. My profit is generally right around 32% for my business. Well, both of them across the board. So that would have been in a month. I can't tell you for a year what one individual product did, like the highest amount. I would have to literally go back and look and pull a report to see that. Okay, so let's keep on going here. Thoughts on Alibaba versus DHgate. I've never used DHgate as a sourcing website. As far as I know, and again, maybe it's because I'm unfamiliar, I don't know if DHgate makes stuff in bulk. I thought that they were more so just for getting, like replicas of things or no shade, knockoffs of things. I didn't know that they made stuff in bulk. So maybe that's my ignorance, but Alibaba is definitely the GOAT. Okay. If my product checks off most boxes except the reviews, is it a no-go? It's over 500 reviews. It's 100% a no-go. That's too competitive. Do you do one-on-ones? No, I don't do any one-on-ones. I only offer mentorship through my step-by-step program. So do shampoos sell well? I'm sure they do. We could look it up. Let's just do shampoo. We'll pull up the numbers using X-Ray, which is part of the Helium 10 Google Chrome extension. Again, I have this software linked in my bio with a discount. Right now, they have, I think, 30% off, which is funny because my program is 30% off as well right now, but that was not coordinated. And then these are the numbers that are coming up for shampoo. Excuse me, you guys. Thoughts on the product category of disposable tissues. It's not a category, it's just a product. And I don't have thoughts on it. You'd have to look up the numbers and see, but I'm sure it's very competitive because you're going to be going up against big brands like Puffs and Kleenex and whatever else. Okay, let's give it a sec. It's almost there, 74. And Helium 10 is faster than this, you guys. It's because I have a million tabs open, so please don't judge it. Okay, so for shampoo, the search volume is insane, 506,000 searches. I don't think that shampoo would be seasonal. Remember how when we looked up backpacks, it was like up and down, because back to school season, right? When it comes to shampoo, people use shampoo all year round. There's no reason that there should be any prominent spikes and dips. So what we're going to do is let's just go back 5 years. Okay. So I do see some spikes, but let's see if they're spiking during specific times. So we've got September. It looked like it was kind of high. March, it was kind of high. July, it was kind of high. What is this? July, October, July, June. Why would there be? I mean, it's not like a clear cut trend that every July it spikes up. And I wouldn't even say like it's a giant spike, but I'm trying to use my common sense here. Maybe people are like swimming more, so they're washing their hair more. I don't know about that. I don't know about that because I'm a black girl. We don't wash our hair that often. So I'm trying to use deductive reasoning here. I'm not sure I know. And honestly, I wouldn't necessarily see that as being seasonal per se. Interesting. Okay, let me look at a couple more questions. I don't want to get so carried away looking at the screen that I don't get to answer more questions. Okay, let's keep on going. Biweekly group calls via Zoom and provides additional support via email for specifics. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Abby. Hey, Flowy Flow. Thank you for the heart. You don't have to send me any gifts in here. Don't worry about it. How do you go about requesting a sample with your customization to test? Does it reach in 30 days also? Your sample that you're asking for is called a production sample, and a production sample is going to take longer than a standard sample. So for example, when I had this product sent to me to sample it, it didn't have my logo on there. It didn't have my different colors on there. It had the generic version that the supplier makes so that I could evaluate it for a function. So I could make sure that it looked, essentially the way that I would want it. The reason I don't always recommend production samples is because they take longer and they're more expensive. So if your product is simple enough, like a nail buffer, you don't need to get the buffer exactly the way that it's going to be made in bulk. Let's say that this was like blue, green, pink, yellow. I can still imagine what it would be like with my neutral colors instead of the specific colors that I'm looking at. What I'm really trying to evaluate is, does it do the job? Am I actually able to make my nails shiny? Does it actually do what it needs to do? And then as far as the superficial factors, that I don't necessarily need a sample of that. What you're going to do to guarantee that your supplier is doing it the right way so they don't play in your face and tell you, yes, dear, we're going to do black, gray, white, and sparkle so that they actually do what you guys have agreed upon, you're going to get an inspection done on your inventory. That's what's going to make sure that your products themselves are being made to your specifications. You're going to hire a third-party inspection company. They're going to go to the factory where your products are made, and then they are going to go ahead and check to make sure that everything has been done correctly. That way, if there is something that's wrong, your supplier will then be able to fix it before the products are sent to the Amazon Fulfillment Center. Make sense? Okay, maybe summer. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking when it's right. Like people are showering more, so they're washing their hair more. That's what I would guess. What's the most challenging part in your opinion? The most challenging part, I would say product research only because it's something that you have to get the hang of, like looking at graphs and data that might not be your forte, maybe you're not used to that. So there can be a learning curve with that. Let's see, if the sample doesn't perform like you would want, how do you modify the product? It's really up to you. So what you can do excuse me, what you can do is, let the supplier know, hey, the sample was flimsy, the sample didn't perform as expected. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to move on to a different supplier. It wasn't up to my expectation. If it was good, but there were just minor things that you didn't like, you can talk to the supplier about it and say, hey, overall, I like the quality of the product. However, I have a concern here, there. These are some things that I would need addressed before moving forward with, a larger order. So you can talk to them about it and kind of see what they're able to do. But for certain things where it's like just egregious, you should just find a different supplier. Like if I were to have gotten this and it was like flimsy and it just felt cheap, or it didn't work as I wanted it to work, I would just go to a different supplier. There's so many suppliers to choose from. There's literally no reason to struggle with one supplier. Okay, we are all caught up. All right, so we were about to look at shampoo. So let's go ahead and close this. Again, 506,000 searches for shampoo. For total revenue, 36 million a month is insane work. Oh my gosh, that is such a huge number. And then you have average revenue per seller, and these are for the sellers on the first page, $489,000 per average seller. Oh my gosh. Oh, to be a shampoo seller on Amazon, insane. Now here is where things go bad. Not BSR. Average reviews, 10,485. This is so high in demand and makes so much money, but it's also extremely competitive. So unfortunately, we would not sell this product because it's just diabolically competitive. Either way though, let's, out of nosiness, see who's making the most money selling this. Pureology. Is this sold in stores? Is Pureology sold in stores? I know Redken is, obviously. Native is a big brand. Routine Wellness. I don't know that I've seen this in the stores. Routine Wellness. Do we know Routine Wellness? Pureology. Okay, that makes sense because they're the number one seller. Routine Wellness. Do we know? I'm trying to just look at a private label. I don't want to look at a big brand because that's not a good reflection of, the reality of it. Because obviously if you're sold in stores, you're going to have that recognition. So when you're selling on Amazon, you have an advantage. I want to look at someone without an advantage, someone who's just like a regular person selling shampoo. Yeah, I don't think Routine Wellness is a thing. Hold on. I'm going to Google it real quick because I don't want to look at them if they're not private label. Routine Wellness. They have their own website. Made in the US. Yeah, no, the only place I see them being sold is on Amazon and on their own website. So I would guess that they are a private label brand. So we can use their listing as an example. 13,000 reviews is asinine. Like, what? Crazy. And this one down here has 41,000 reviews. That's so insane. Okay, so Routine Wellness, we can see that they're doing $2.4 million a month in sales. And then, let's see. Wow, their fees are high, $13.63 in fees. So let me see. Their cost, $49.99. Okay, I mean, they can eat that fee. It's not that bad compared to their actual selling price. So they're doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good. And then there's some other sellers here. Redken, Nutrafol, L'Oreal, those are all big brands. Way, I don't, is it Way? Head and Shoulders is a big brand, obviously. I think Tea Tree is a big brand. Biolage, I don't know if this is sold in stores or not. Yeah, I feel like I would probably see that in a store. So yeah, anyway, I say that to say that this is obviously way too competitive for a first timer, even for a seasoned seller. Like for me, I would never launch a shampoo because I already know what time it is when it comes to the competition, and I am not willing to spend 6 figures a month on ads, and I would never do that. Okay, tell me one more product. We'll look up one more thing before I flip the camera back because we've been looking at the screen for a minute now, which we normally don't do. This is like very different for us, but whatever. Sometimes it's just easier to show you than to tell you. Any other product you want me to look up? Automatic trash cans. Jewelry isn't specific enough, Remy. You'd have to say like what the jewelry piece is. Jewelry is very, very broad. But we'll go ahead and do automatic trash can because that's the first thing I saw. Automatic trash can. I personally wouldn't sell this product because it's large. I think this would probably be considered oversized by Amazon, so the fees would be higher. And also the fact that it's automatic technically makes it a electronic product. So I would not sell this, but we'll look it up anyway, see what the numbers are looking like. Let's see, is 5K a good budget to start this? 5K is more than enough. You can definitely start for less, but if you have 5K, you are absolutely good to go. Okay, let's see. We're at 65. Let's keep on going. Let it load on up. We can already see, though, that the search volume for automatic trash can is pretty significant. Almost 19,000. Total revenue, 21 million. Average revenue per seller on page one, $332,000. Average price, 77. BSR, 54,000 or maybe 55,000. And then the average reviews, 4,800. Let me see. Let's sort them from highest to lowest by clicking on the revenue. Number one seller is EKO. I'm not familiar with this brand. I'm not sure if they sell in stores or if they're private label. Best Office Song Mics. Alfeco. Oh, wow. Look at this listing here, you guys. 175 reviews, $295,000 a month with only 175 reviews. That is a flex. Wow. That's super, super impressive. They have another listing here, though, that, obviously they sell this product as well. This looks like a more compact version, or like maybe for an office or a desk area. And then this is more of like a legitimate trash can that you'd have in your kitchen. But yeah, still 175, doing almost 300K. That's solid. Let's see. This brand, 9 stars, they have 306 reviews and $140,000 a month in sales. This one only has 59 reviews, $49,000 in sales. 20 reviews, $17,000. 18 reviews, $17,000 as well. 5 reviews, $4,600. So obviously you guys can see that normally the more money it's making, the higher the reviews are. That's like a very common trend that you'll see. If I want to start, what's the steps to take? Apply for your Amazon seller account and then get Helium 10, which is the software that you're looking at right now. I have it linked in my bio with a discount code. I would say to start looking for products. So sign up for your Amazon account, get Helium 10, start doing product research. How many units should you purchase if it's a small item? Anywhere between 300 and 500 to start. What product is this? This is an automatic trash can. Automatic trash can. What's a good product criteria? That I have in my step-by-step program, my winning product criteria. But you would want to look at things like making sure that the search volume is high enough, making sure that the average review is low enough, making sure that, there's enough revenue being made. So those are some things you would look for. You would also look for a product that is small in size and lightweight. So this trash can does not fit the bill. Like, it's large, it's heavy. It sucks. This is not a good first-time product. Is this a website or how are you seeing this? This is a software. It's called Helium 10 and I have it linked in my bio. Once you get Helium 10, you can download the Google Chrome extension tool, which is what I'm using right now to look at these numbers. Is this wholesale? No, this is private label. Thank you for showing my trash can option. You're welcome. No problem. Happy to do it. Yes, this is private label. When you purchase, do you need your own warehouse? No, the products are going to be stored at the Amazon Fulfillment Center. Any legal steps we need to do when creating a brand? No, not right off of the bat. So at a certain point, you are going to want to get a trademark for your brand. That way you can protect it and make sure nobody copies you. But in the beginning, you can just sell as selling as a sole proprietor doesn't actually have anything to do with your brand. That's just the way that your business is set up. But for your branding, Amazon has basically 3 ways that you can sell an item. You can sell it as a generic. You can sell it as an Amazon approved or a brand approved item, or you can do brand registered, which requires you to have a trademark. So those are your 3 options. So generic, brand approved, brand registered. What you want is right in the middle. You want to be brand approved. You don't want to do generic because your product is going to look cheap. You don't want to do brand registered because it's going to force you to get a trademark and that costs money and it takes time. So brand approval is the perfect in between. It will allow you to sell on Amazon with your brand name, but without having to get a trademark. So that's what I would recommend that you do. Can we please check African sponge? I said this was our last one, but yes, we'll do that. And that will be our last one. Just because you asked so nicely. Absolutely. Let's do African sponge. Do you think kids' toys can work out? It depends on what the toy is. Would you ever create socials for your brand or Amazon ads is enough? Amazon ads is enough. I used to have social media for my brands, and then I realized that it wasn't bringing me in any sales. So I'm like, forget this. I'm not in the business of wasting my time. So I'm going to do the things that are actually going to make me money. Running ads has always made me more money than, trying to get those, like, I don't want to say organic, because organic sales you can still get directly through Amazon. But having to create entire social media dedicated to the brand is just, it's too much work because then you have to keep up and you have to make content. And, I don't want to feel forced to have to make content to sell my products. I would rather just run the ads directly through Amazon. It's easier, it's more reliable, and I think it's more scalable. Let's see. Thank you. You're welcome. When selecting a product, what's your criteria? I just answered your question. I said that the full criteria is in my step-by-step program, but you want to look for things that have high demand and low competition, products that are small, lightweight, non-seasonal. Those would be some components of a winning product. It doesn't... What is your budget for ads? It depends on how competitive the niche is for the product that I'm selling. It's really going to be dependent on that, but you can run ads for like $10 a day to start. Okay, African net sponge, 503,000 searches, really, really high search volume. So there's a lot of demand for this product. $8 million total revenue, 120,000 average revenue per seller on the first page. The average price sucks. I mean, it is what it is. It is a cheap product. So $9, that's a no-go. We want an average price of $15 or better. So yeah, don't like that. Average BSR is pretty good, and then the average reviews is high. So from top to bottom, the number one seller is this brand called Corated. They're doing $480,000 a month in sales, which is really nice because this is such a simple product. I mean, I can't think of a more basic product than this. It's literally just a net. It's very hard to use this product incorrectly. I'm sure this product is insanely cheap to make. Like, it's costing $9.49. I would venture to guess that they are able to source this product for like 50 cents, maybe a quarter. Like, it's very, very cheap. And actually, this is funny because remember I told you that I used this type of a plastic bag. That's basically what they're using from what I see. It looks like they're using kind of like a thick plastic, or like it's kind of rubbery. And that's to keep their costs low because they could package it in a box, but that would cost them more money. Why would they do that when they could just put it in plastic and have it be cheaper and take up less space, and then they get to make more money, right? So if they're getting this for like 50 cents, they're selling it for almost 10. They're still making money. You know what I mean? Even though the cost of the product is low. This bird is actually driving me insane. I'm gonna have to go and look. Okay, where was I? When you create a website domain for your product, so wait, would you create a website domain for your product so when people look it up, it looks like a big brand? Um, no, because if I had a website, I wouldn't to have a website for a product that you don't actually sell on the website, I feel is silly. Like, I get what you're saying just to like make it look more legit, but at the same time, if someone is typing it in and they want to buy the product and they go to the website and it's not actually sold on there, that's just an extra step that they would have to take to then go to Amazon to buy it. What you don't want to do is create steps for people to buy the product. You all know the real reason why Amazon makes billions of dollars a year? It's because they make it so incredibly easy for you to buy your products. They make it so that your credit card information is already stored. They make it so that you can easily return your products. They make it literally 2 clicks before you purchase a product. You can actually purchase a product in 1 click. They remove every barrier to you not wanting to buy the product. They remove the obstacle of you having to go and get your wallet to get your credit card, because that's extra time that you're thinking about whether or not you need the product. They don't want you to think about it. They want you to go on there, click on what you want, and check out. That's what they want. So to have a completely separate website where they can't even purchase it from there if they wanted to, now they have to go to Amazon. That's increasing the odds of them just either saying, you know what, I don't really need it, or let me look at some of the other options on Amazon. So I don't see it as a necessity. I think it's a waste of time. But if you were selling it on your own website, that would be a little bit different. Do you do mentorship? I do. If you go to the link in my bio, you'll see my step-by-step program, and you'll see the different tiers for that if you are looking to learn directly from me through my step-by-step program. And you can use the discount code LEO30 at checkout across all tiers for 30% off. Okay, let's keep on going. Do you sell popular products or no? Yeah, I mean, the products are in demand, so they have to be popular in a way. So yes. Are there a lot of people selling African nut sponges? I don't know what the total number of sellers is, but there are definitely high reviews. There are definitely high reviews. Wait, actually, this is from lowest to highest, not highest to lowest. Yeah, there we go. Like, for example, there's a listing that has 33,000 reviews. 33,000, almost 34,000 reviews. The number one seller has 2,700 reviews. Let me look for someone who has, okay, so this seller here from this brand is called Futri Create, 75 reviews, $40,000 in sales. So that is a more reasonable review count, but 33,000 reviews is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Okay, how much in sales is it making? So the total revenue for all of the sellers on the first page is 9 million, and then the average revenue per seller is $125,000 per month. All of these numbers are for monthly. How to be successful selling a small item priced at $5. I can't tell you because $5 just does not leave any room for profits unless you're getting the product for like a quarter. That's the only way that you can make a product like that work. I recommend that the products that you sell are $15 or more per, $15 per more as your selling price. Convenience, exactly, Angie, exactly. What are times you have the weekly meeting in your mentorship? I'm in Nevada. I'm in Vegas, so we are in the same time zone. They're at 4 p.m. on Mondays, though that may be changing as we get into back to school season because mom life. I have to make sure that I'm able to get my son from school. So we may go earlier, or maybe a little bit later. The only thing is I try my best to accommodate it to as many members as I can. There's never going to be a perfect time for a meeting because we've got members in other countries, so we can't accommodate for everyone. But I think about it, if it's 4 o'clock here, that means it's 7 o'clock on the East Coast, which is probably great for, people with kids or who work 9 to 5s. They have little time. But then when we get a little bit too late, then it's, either way, it's tricky. But at this moment, it's at 4 p.m. And they are all recorded. So if you're not able to join our live Zoom calls, you will be able to still see the replay. And if you want to ask me a question, I can still answer it on the Zoom call, even if you're not there, so that when you watch the replay, you'll, see what I have to say. So definitely try my best to make it so that you can at least still benefit from them. Okay, where was I? Can you do this as a newbie? Yes, you can. I was a newbie 7.5 years ago when I started and didn't know what I was doing, and I figured it out. And now, I do really well with Amazon. So yes, absolutely you can. How do I join your mentorship? If you go to the link in my bio and you click on my face right here, it'll take you directly to my bio. And once that opens up, you're going to see a link. It says Beacons. Just click on that. And the second option will be my step-by-step program. And you'll be able to join directly from there. If you do, make sure you use the code LEO30, LEO30 at checkout. What do your work days look like? How do you structure your week? Great question. Well, okay, so I have been selling on Amazon for a long time. I only spend about 3 hours a week on my business. So it's not like a daily thing, and there is maintenance that is required. So for example, what maintenance looks like to me in my business is making sure that my listings are fine, like there's nothing wrong with my photos, my price point, is still what it needs to be. I will answer any customer inquiries that I get. So if a customer sends me a message and they say, hey, I love your product, I see that you have pink, do you ever think you'll come out with a blue one? Or, my product is running late, that's not your problem. You redirect them to Amazon because Amazon is responsible for delivering the product. So customer inquiries, and then reordering inventory, which obviously you wouldn't be doing that every day, which is why, I don't work on my business every day because it doesn't require that at this point. Last but not least, managing my ads. So managing ads, customer inquiries, those are the two more frequent maintenance tasks. And then reordering inventory, I do that as needed. So hopefully that answers your question. So how I structure my week, I might spend, 30 minutes every day. Sometimes I will, or I won't look at it for a while. So if you know anything about me, I travel a lot. So when I'm out of town, like I'll be in Greece in a week for my birthday for funsies, I'm not going to be looking at my Amazon business, to be honest. Like I don't, that's the reason I did this business in the first place, so that I can be wherever I want to be and still be able to make money, and it doesn't need my attention every day. I don't have to, take time while we're on a boat to be like, hold on, guys, let me check. I can if I want to. And sometimes I do, I'll look and I'll see how business is going in case I want to buy, a new bag for me and my best friend, like I did when we were in Portugal. I'll just look real quick and be like, what's the money looking like? Obviously, I can afford it, but keeping up with it, it doesn't hurt to do that. Like if something were to go wrong, and let's say my listing was suppressed for some reason, like there was a keyword that popped up that shouldn't have been there, and now Amazon's suppressing the listing, I would want to know that. I wouldn't want to let it go for a long time, because that's money that I'm losing out on. But at the same time, that's like rare that would happen. That's few and far between. So the necessity to keep up every single day is just not there, for a business like this. So anyway, that's that. When I'm in town in Vegas, when I have my son with me, my days are a lot more structured because he has school. So everything is kind of like done around his schedule. But when he's gone, I'm either traveling, and if I am in town, like I am this week, in Vegas, and he's gone, I'm just living my best life. And then I spend the time as needed, of course, to do those tasks. I'm in the UK. Can I join as well? Of course you can. I've got lots of students from the UK in my program. Absolutely, you can join us. Okay, Abby's program. Thank you so much, Shisei. Let me go ahead and pin this to the top. Appreciate you putting that there. That is the direct website to my program. If you don't want to go to the link in my bio, that is the discount code that you can use, Leo30 at checkout. And this is my YouTube channel, okay? Let's keep on going here. Do you know if someone from the Caribbean can do this? I do know, and good news, you sure can. Absolutely. As a beginner, after the program, how long does it take to be stable in the business? It depends on your approach. It depends on how profitable you are. If you're selling a product that you're only making $1 off of each one, that doesn't give you a lot of stability, because $1 is not a lot of profitability to work with. But if you have a product where you're making $10 off of each one, that's a lot more stable. So it's dependent on you and your product. Can I create e-commerce business without posting content on social media? Yes, absolutely, Sid. That's literally what we're doing. You don't ever have to post a video for your products. You don't ever have to make an Instagram or make a TikTok and try to make cringy viral videos for your products. I mean, that's diabolical. Not everybody wants to be a creator or whatever. You're going to promote your products by using Amazon PPC or Amazon ads. Let's see. What are the profit margins on this? Every business is different. I would recommend that you look for a product with a profitability of at least 20% or better. 20% or better. My personal profits are right at 32%. You don't need a US registered business. That's not true. What model do you teach? I teach private label. Thank you for taking time to answer every question. Of course, I'm happy to. As long as the questions are respectful, I am more than happy to answer. That's literally why I'm here. How can I join? How can you join my program or Amazon as a seller? Let me know and I'll clarify for you. How much did you pay to start up? I paid way too much money to start up because I did not know what I was doing. I was just a 24-year-old with no experience, just trying to make a little bit of coin. And unfortunately for me, I picked a bad product and ended up overspending. So this was my first product I sold on Amazon, and I bought 5,000 of these, which is absolutely idiotic. But I didn't know any better. And I just was overly eager and, a little bit delusional. So I bought 5,000 of them. They were only like $1 each. So if I would have known better, I would have only bought 500 of them. But because I didn't know better, I bought, an excessive amount. And I ended up losing all my money. That's me being honest. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. I'm not here to lie to you guys. I did not do well with this product, not because it was a bad product in and of itself. Like, the quality was great. People loved it. But it was too competitive. And I didn't realize that at the time that I was doing my research and at the time that I launched. So that was a hard lesson to learn, an expensive lesson to learn, but it taught me something that I applied to not the next product, because I also fumbled on the next product, but the third product, yeah, the third product is what took off. Okay, where was I? Do you think niche products are a good idea? For example, arts and crafts. Arts and crafts is a category, so it's very broad. You can have so many things under arts and crafts. I'll show you right now. So if you go to all, actually you can't really see the side the way it's angled. If you go to all right here, you can shop by department. What am I looking for? Let's go to, we're going to go to bestsellers. And then we're going to go to arts, crafts, and sewing. So arts and crafts. And this is what's selling well in arts and crafts. It makes sense that it's going to be largely back to school items. Now, remember when we looked at backpacks, we saw that it was very seasonal because it's back to school season. So even though glue sticks are going crazy on Amazon, and I'm sure they're making just a stupid amount of money, this is not going to last. Once back to school season is over, the numbers are going to completely tank. Same thing with crayons. Scissors. I mean, it's very clearly back to school stuff. When I think of the good arts and crafts products, I'm thinking more of the ones that are for like specific hobbies. For example, if you're really into crochet, if you're really into knitting, if you're really into, things like that. Maybe you make a certain type of art. Maybe you're into like clay or something like that. That is the way that I would go into researching an arts and crafts product. I would, probably find some type of a specific style or hobby or something that people do often in arts and crafts. And then I would go ahead and pick a product that pertains to that. So arts and crafts, we could do, you guys know that men are wearing bedazzled pants now. So let's go bedazzle. I want to say no shade, but I don't even mean that. So let's do bedazzle. Let's just do bedazzle kit. Okay. This is what I mean when I say arts and crafts. And for a product like this, there are a lot of components to it. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. But instead of selling the entire kit, maybe you sell a specific component of the kit. So instead of the bedazzle kit, maybe you just do a bedazzle pen or a bedazzling pen. Right? So now it's a little bit less complicated because you're not selling the actual like gems or rhinestones themselves. You're just selling the pen part of it. You get what I'm saying? This is the type of thing that I teach in my program as far as like being a little bit more creative, like thinking outside the box when it comes to your product research. You don't have to follow one specific way. That's why in my program, I teach you 6 different strategies for doing your product research, because there's so many ways that you can go about finding a product that, is maybe more unique or whatever, though it doesn't have to be crazy unique. Like a bedazzling pen, I don't think is the most innovative thing in the world, but sometimes they do really well. Okay, let's keep on going here. Join your program and also become a seller. If you go to the link in my bio right here, you'll see the link for my program. And then you can join directly from there. And then I will walk you through everything else from there. So you don't need to even go sign up for your seller account, because I have a lesson that walks you through the application. So if you're going to sign up anyway, you might as well get your money's worth and let me show you how to do everything else from there. What I'm trying to say is, if you're going to join the program, don't do anything else, because then you're going to be trying to figure it out on your own. And then you're going to pay for a program that shows you how to do it all anyway. So get the program first. That way you don't have to waste your time like YouTubing or Googling how to do this and that. because it'll show you how to do it already. Does that make sense? Very helpful. Thanks for sharing, Abby. You're welcome. No problem. How did you fumble the second product? I did the same things I did with the first. Picked a product that was too competitive. I can't find, I know like somewhere, I just don't know where, that I have that second product that I sold. It was a not a nail file, a cuticle pusher and cuticle oil in a pen form. That was my second product. It came in like a box. I wish I could find it so I could like show you guys. But I've moved a lot of times since I started this business, so maybe it got lost in the shuffle of all of that. But yeah, that was my second product. Too competitive, unfortunately. I'm so behind, but catching up on coursework today. Good, as you should. Come on, Key. Key is part of my step-by-step program, so yeah. Girl, first of all, get off this live stream and go do your lessons, all right? Me telling my son to get off the iPad and read a book. So what did you end up doing with leftover nail sets? I liquidated them. How much is your mentorship? If you go to the link in my bio, you'll see the pricing and the breakdown. I was thinking for hobbyists, not just back to school. Exactly, right? Yep, exactly, Remy. We're on the same page. You get it. It's really important to be able to think about it that way as well, because you're going to have certain products that are going to lend themselves to certain seasons or times of the year. And it doesn't necessarily mean that the product itself is seasonal. It just means that there are, certain occasions or events or something that would make it more prominent than others. For example, a purely seasonal product would be something like a pool noodle, right? No one's buying a pool noodle in December. But something that can sell well year round, let's say it has something to do with like baking. Let's say that they're boxes for baked goods. Those are going to do well all year because people bake all year. However, when it gets to be pumpkin spice season, cozy season, things are cold outside. You want to be in the house. You want something that's, hearty and heartwarming or whatever. It's going to go up during, the fall. It's right by Thanksgiving. People are cooking. People are having potlucks. People are, doing things with their friends and their family, their coworkers. You're going to see an increase for things that have to do with, hosting and things like that. You get what I'm saying? So it's not that it's seasonal by definition, but there are elements of seasonality to it. Does that make sense? So there are definitely different things that you want to consider when you're looking at your products, and just kind of thinking more so as a business owner rather than just like the way that a customer would look at it. So what are some good stable things you think would sell? There are lots of things that would sell. It just depends on, whether or not they hit the metrics that would qualify them as profitable products. Messy but facts. You know what I mean? Like, why y'all wearing bedazzled? That's not what this live is about. Let me stay on track. Is it where they ask join fun club? Join fun club? Join fun club? I don't know what you're looking at. Okay, so here's where you would go. I'll just use my other phone. If you are wanting to join my program, all you would do is go here, right? You would click on this link right here, beacons.ai. Click on this. My nails are long, so sometimes it's hard. You see how it has these different options. We have my free training. It's about an hour long, really great for an introduction to all of this. My step-by-step program. This is a product idea that I've pre-researched that you can buy if you want to. This is literally by force. I never wanted to offer this, but I get so many emails and DMs about product ideas. I'm like, you know what, whatever. I'm just going to put it up there for the people who don't want to have to learn how to look for a product. They just want a product. You can just go ahead and grab that right there. And then the discount code for Helium10. So if you want to join my program, you would click on the second option, which is the Savvy Seller FBA program, my step-by-step Amazon FBA mentorship program. Just click on that. And then it's going to pull up the website. And then you're going to just click on show me how. And it'll take you to the different tiers, and then you can enroll from here. Or you can just click on any of these other buttons. And then let's say that you wanted to do Sapphire, which is what I recommend for beginners. Join Sapphire now. It's going to bring you to the checkout. And what you're going to do is type in the code LEO30. I actually haven't tried doing this before. I know it works though. Right? And then it's going to deduct 30% off, and then that's where you're going to be able to enroll. You can use PayPal, you can use Apple Pay, you can use Klarna if you want to break down the payments, or you can just use a credit card. It's all secure. Your information is safe. Don't worry. This is a legitimate website. I've used it for many, many years. Never an issue with your data or your confidential information. Okay? So that is that. And then you'll be able to join the program. You'll get immediate access to the program. And then you'll be able to start doing your lessons. And let me just show you what you'll be able to get. There's an app as well for the program. It's called Teachable. And then you'll be able to join the program. This is how it looks on your phone. On the computer, it looks different, but just to show you what it would look like. And then you can start going through all of the different modules. So that's why I said, if you're going to join the program, don't even bother making your Amazon account, because look at this lesson right here, how to create your Amazon seller account. You know, like, why would you do it before I walk you through it when I'm just going to walk you through it anyway? You know what I mean? And I give you PDFs as well for everything. It's a PDF. And it's also a video. You can download the PDFs for the record if you're in the program. Oh. They want to know the name of your Amazon store. It's something that you can change in the future. Oh. They want to know whether or not you have UPCs, which are barcodes. Just click on yes. Right. So you've got all of these lessons. You do it at your own pace. If you're like, I want to start selling yesterday, you can run through this entire program in a weekend. I've had students do it before. The question that I keep getting asked too about the winning product criteria, this is the lesson that goes over that. Lesson 4.4, winning product formula. I have this one with the red flags and the 101 products to avoid PDF. And these are all of the products. Not only do I tell you the products to avoid, but I tell you why you should avoid them. For example, see, I can't actually show it because y'all be screenshotting, but just to give you a little idea of what you would get and the way that you do it. So let me know, Sab, if you're able to do that. And if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, let's keep on going here. But Chinese people are really selling a lot. They're allowed to sell. Anyone's allowed to sell. It's a free marketplace. I want to sign up with you. How much money should I be expecting to put down towards products? It depends on the product that you choose, Sid. And you know what? We can actually, I have a YouTube video that breaks it all down. I don't want to go, okay, give me 1 second. Let me pull it up, but I don't want you guys to see my personal info. So just give me like 1 quick second. I'm going to pull up the YouTube video of mine that goes over how much money you need. We're not going to watch the video, obviously, but I'm just going to show you real quick. Your channel, videos. Okay, we should be good now. This is my YouTube channel, you guys. I've got tons of Amazon videos. What I want to show you though is the how much money you need. Okay, so it's this video right here from 3 months ago. All right. What I'm actually looking for though is the visual of how much money you need. And then where's the total? You know what we need? We need the old video. The reason I say that is in this video, I walk it through, but I don't show it all at one time on any of the frames. But you know what? Actually, what we can do right here. I'm going to click on the one that says product costs. So for the product cost, there's things like the product itself, the shipping of the product, quality control. So we've got the samples, the inspections, we've got the photography and the barcode, right? These are all different things that you would want to account for. So then we've got the logo and the trademark. The trademark you do not need. I just put it here to be thorough. Packaging costs, product insert. These are the Amazon costs. Here's the software and a discount code for the software. Helium 10, you guys already know, right? So go check out this video. It'll break everything down much more thoroughly of how much money you need to sell on Amazon, okay? I can't, and if you're gonna join the program anyway, I also have lessons that talk about the cost and all of that. I can't see any link. I only see join fun club. You can't see a link when you go to the bio? When you're on my page, Nahi, you don't see this link here? Because join fun club. I have no idea what that is. This is what you should be seeing in my bio. Do you see this? Okay. Okay, bye. Bye. Let's see. Where was I? Where was I? My goodness. Do you guarantee success? I don't guarantee success, and no one can guarantee you success. I don't care if it's Bill Gates or whoever is really good at what they do, Elon Musk, yuck, but no one can guarantee you success. It's not a thing. Anyone who says, I guarantee that you will be successful doing this if you follow these steps, that is not true, because at the end of the day, there are variables that are out of my control. So I can't guarantee that you are going to make $10,000 in your first month, because what if you don't do your part? Your success is going to be a combination of me providing you with the information, which I can 100% guarantee that I will give you everything you need to know. I will 100% guide you. I will 100% answer your questions. I will 100% do my part to make sure that you're successful, but you have to do your part. So that's just me being honest. I can't guarantee, a specific result, but I can guarantee you that I will teach you everything you need to know. So if the success doesn't come, it's not for lack of you having the right information. That part I can for sure say with my chest. Okay, I have a product in mind that meets all the criteria you talked about since I joined your live. I need to hurry up and just buy it. What? Keep your live engaging. Long periods of non-interactive streaming may result in gifts being suspended. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is annoying. Because contains unoriginal. Oh, damn. I should have appealed it. I didn't read it enough. Oh, here, let me appeal it. I understand that it's because I have YouTube pulled up. And that's why I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. Let's go back to Amazon. Let's do that. Oh, brother, they do not play. Okay, let me just do a quick appeal. All right. Okay, anyway, let me answer a couple more questions. I have a product in mind. You should join the program so you can send me your product idea and I can tell you whether or not it's good. That's a generous discount. Appreciate it. Oh, absolutely. I'm happy to help. Yeah. I'm happy to be able to offer it because I've been getting a lot of messages about the program, and I know that the economy is bad and all that. So I'm like, what can I do in honor of Leo season to make it easier to join and, be able to have more of you guys inside of the program. So happy to offer it. Okay, I'm going to join the FBA seller program and I'll report back. Oh, okay, perfect, Remy. That's exactly what I was about to say. Because if you have a product idea already, girl, please send it to me and then you can launch ASAP. Thank you. Got it now. Of course. I'm so glad. Okay, perfect. I was like, dang, I know that the link is here, but one-on-one calls are not included. No, there are no one-on-one calls, but there are Zoom calls, bi-weekly Zoom calls. So you'll be able to join those and you have access to me whenever you need. So you'll be able to send me your product ideas for review. You'll be able to ask me your questions. But one-on-one calls would be impossible for me to do. I'm one person and I'm definitely not about to hire people to take calls for me. That's just not my vibe. So we study it by ourselves. Yes, you study it by yourself, and then you would join the calls to be able to, supplement what you're studying at your own pace. Ask me your questions. You can do that at any time. You don't have to join the Zoom calls to be able to ask me your questions or to, talk to me. But yeah. I have an Amazon account. That's awesome. So you already have that step done. How long have you had your business? Almost 8 years. I'm currently doing RA, OA, and wholesale. Private label sounds interesting. Yeah, I feel like you've been in here for a long time, Chad. Yeah, I love private label. I think it is the best of all of the business models. No shade, but that's really how I feel. Are payment options available? Yes, you can use Klarna at checkout, and you can also break down the payments through PayPal. So whatever is easier for you. Also, what is this buy box I'm hearing about? Good question, Angie. So buy box issues more so applies to arbitrage and other business models where you're not selling your own branded item. So good question. I'm going to show you what the buy box is right now. But instead of using this product, let's use a different product. I'm going to do batteries. And I'm doing this for a reason. Just walk with me real quick. So let's go ahead and do, oh wait, I don't want to click on their ad. Any of the ones that you see that say sponsored, these are ads. And if you click on it, they get charged for it. And I know I'm not going to buy it, so I don't want to click on it and make them pay for a sale. Okay. Okay, so you see this box right here on the side. Hold on, let me move this over a little bit. You see this? So this is the buy box. This is where you would go to purchase the item. Now, what's interesting about the buy box is that you have the standard price for like the genuine, authentic Energizer Bunny sold from the manufacturer themselves, right? The Energizer store, this is like them themselves who are selling it for $39.82. However, if you scroll down, you can see that they have an option to buy it used, like new. That's the condition of it. And these are the other sellers who offer this product. So the buy box is the box right here, and then all of the options to purchase. And if you go through another seller who is most likely doing arbitrage, you can purchase it for $37.65 instead. So you can save $2 if you were to buy it from a different seller. Right? It says looks and functions as if it were new. Item will come in original packaging. So yes, that's that. So that's what the buy box is. Let's see. Thank you. You're welcome. I just moved to Nevada. As soon as I'm settled, I'm joining for sure. Sounds good. And welcome to Nevada. I've learned that you're not supposed to say Nevada. You're supposed to say Nevada. Going to watch your YouTube. Sounds good. 10,000 tabs open. Damn, girl, look. This is literally what my brain looks like. Hella tabs. What if the product is only on Amazon, AE, but not the US? You could bring it to the US if the numbers look good. It depends. Depends on what the product is. All right, you guys, we have been on for a good minute. You guys haven't seen my face in probably like an hour and some change. I didn't intend to spend that much time with the camera flipped, but here we are. Let me do this. Get my setup back together, and then we can answer a couple more questions if you guys have them. Okay. I'm about to flip it back over to me. Probably have to move things around a little bit. But yeah, I hope that this all makes sense. That was a lot of information and a lot of things that I showed. My intent was to just show you the products themselves so you could kind of see how helium-10 works. But then, you know, we got caught up looking at some other stuff, but that's fine. If it was helpful to you guys, I'm happy to do it. Any other questions I can answer about Amazon FBA, private label selling, making money online, let me know. Any other questions? Now that they restricted us, they're not showing it on the For You page anymore, which, whatever, we've been on for like 2 hours anyway. Now I know not to show YouTube, so that's good to know. But is there anything else I can answer? Oh, thanks, Remy. That's so sweet. No, my family's from Ghana. I was born in South Africa, though. So, African. Thank you for this great training and have a fantastic day. You're welcome, Val. And you're really sweet for saying that. Hope you have a great day as well. It's like 115 degrees in Vegas. Let's see. 107. And it's going to get hotter. Yeah. Absolutely insane. Hey Soli, we're wrapping up right now, girl. You missed it, but that's okay. We'll be back. Tomorrow is Monday. My son comes back, and normally when my son is here, I don't know, it could be hit or miss with being able to hop on live, and then after that, I'll be in Greece for my birthday, so don't expect to see me then, honey. You know what I mean? Your girl's gonna be out the country. So yeah, but if you guys need me, send me a DM on Instagram. I'll try my best to help out. And if you're in the program, that's different. In the program, you'll still be able to send me your questions and all that good stuff. Okay. It's 101 in Dallas, but we have the humidity. I'd rather have dry heat. Oh my gosh. My best friend lives in Dallas. Y'all's heat is different. I'm so sorry. Like the moisture in the air, first of all, my leave out. Like, nar. Dallas has really great restaurants and like, you know, little outdoor patios and stuff like that, but I can't sit outdoors in this type of heat. Nah, air condition me, please. I've been so busy. I mean, that's a good problem to have, being busy. Used to live in Vegas too? Yeah, so it's such a big difference between the Vegas heat and like Texas heat. Very, very different. Thanks, Remy. Thanks so much. I'm absolutely busting tail doing the other models. Private label seems like the way. Chad, yes. And that's why when I get that question about whether or not I would do arbitrage, like what's better, arbitrage or private label? I'm like, I'm so sorry. You're never going to get me to say that I would rather do arbitrage because it's so much work. Like, I don't know where this misconception came that arbitrage is easier. It's only easier if you're not really trying to make money. If you're trying to make money, that's going to be a lot of work. Like you're constantly having to source for new products and driving places and like, no, thanks. That's too much. At least with private label, you're able to have as many units of the product as you want. So it's a better long-term play than doing arbitrage where it's very like, right now, I'm going to go and find a product. And while it feels like it's better or easier because I didn't have to pay for this product up front, I am still having to actively do that pretty much every day. Like if you want to make money, you got to go find a new product to make money. That sucks. I would rather just have a product that I know is in demand and have 1,000 of them made and then just be able to sell that product. You know what I mean? And again, no shade, Chad, but I'm really glad that you're opening up your mind to private label because I think you will like it 10 times better. I was just in Vegas last week and the heat was insane. Oh, it's unbearable. Absolutely unbearable. Let's see. Nola, thank you for the heart. None taken. Yeah. You know exactly what I mean. So, and actually I am appreciative for anyone who's able to speak their truth about doing the other business models, because you're not the first. And I do get this pretty often in the lives where people will say like, I'm doing arbitrage and I'm pooped. Like, this is too much. I got to do something different. I'm like, yeah, I already know. I've been doing this for 8 years and I've been hearing it for forever. A bad life position put me into the biz. Yeah, we're all here for different reasons, I'm telling you. What is your email address again? I don't want to say it on, well, you can send me an email at hello@learnwithabby.com. I can give you that email address. hello@learnwithabby.com. All right, y'all. Well, thank you for a great live. I feel like we got to cover a lot in this live, more than normal. Hopefully this was helpful. If you need anything, like I said, send me a message. Everything is linked in my bio, all of my resources, including my step-by-step program. If you do enroll, be sure to use the code LEO30. If you forget to apply the code, there's nothing I can do about it through the platform. So please make sure that you use that at checkout so that you'll be able to get your 30% off. For the Sapphire plan, that brings it down $750. So it's a really, really great discount if you are looking to get started, and you want to do that sooner rather than later, because Q4 is coming, Black Friday is coming, and you definitely want to be launched before Black Friday hits. Okay. That's what I've got. Have an amazing rest of your weekend. Have a safe and relaxing Sunday. And I hope to see you guys very soon. And hopefully I'll see some of you inside the program as well. Would love to have you. Okay, that's what we've got. Have a great one. And I will see you guys later. Bye, you guys.